Hey Scorpios, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. I hope everyone can hear me. I will have my mic next time, I promise. Okay. Scorpios, we have the dead end and the fault line, the ring and the sustainer, and agape. I mean, obviously the dead end and the fault line are, just this idea of being stuck. Like the harder you push, the more stuck you become. The fault line is the idea of, just like one thing after another thing after another thing after another thing. And I feel like you trying to push through all of these things until you realize that you were stuck in the middle of chaos. And then in another energy altogether, you have agape, the sustainer, and the ring. But I feel like in this push, right? In this push to, get to where it is that you were trying to go, like I'm just going to muscle through this. I'm just going to, you know what I mean? Like that kind of energy. You learned a lot about yourself, right? I mean, agape is like the inner knowing, like the alignment of your chakras, like I'm aware of where I'm blocked and how I can clear that energy and open myself up to be more receptive to, like positivity and like being more in alignment with the directions that I need to go. I was talking to somebody the other night and they said something about a doomsday clock. And they were like, every time you move in a direction that you're not supposed to move, the angels turn the doomsday clock and the sands start to go. And the universe will send you signs like this isn't supposed to be, this isn't supposed to be. And you can either ignore them or you can recognize the fact that you are up against this clock. And if you don't get your shit together by the time the clock goes, the universe is going to do it for you. I thought it was a very interesting concept. I don't know. But the sustainer in the ring, I feel like the idea here is that once you're really aware of yourself, then you can step into the role of who it is that you're meant to be, because you're more aligned with it, right? I feel like that's been in all of our reads, just this idea of like coming into alignment, like breaking away of all of these things so that we can come into alignment with what we're really intended for, what we're meant to be doing, who we're meant to be with, like what we're meant to be focusing our energy on, right? Like if it was not meant to be, it is gone. And it's like you've just been trying to push through all these endings, but I feel like there's just kind of this end of that energy, this understanding of self that we've attained through all of these pushings, and this strength that we've acquired of character that's going to enable us to sustain what it is that we sincerely long for. What was the goal all along, really? I feel like it's been a discovery process, right? Scorpios. Well, one thing after another thing after another thing after another thing has got to come to an end because we are moving on. We're moving in a completely different direction, right? Some of my Scorpios might be actually moving. You could be moving jobs, moving locations, moving towns, moving states. I don't know, however it plays out for you, but you're moving. And you're moving away from a cycle that has been just on repeat bullshit. But that on repeat bullshit has forced you to look at yourself, because who am I in this cycle, right? You keep coming into the same cycle. Sooner or later, you got to figure out what your role is in that. You know what I mean? And that's what your reads have been about for at least the past month, right? It's just that recognizing yourself and everything so that you can overcome a pattern, so that you're no longer engaging in things that don't get you anywhere, because that's got to come to an end. It is time. Thank God, right? Oh, I don't know about y'all, but I'm fucking exhausted. Scorpios. We got the Hanged Man, the Seven of Wands, the Magician, the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Tower. Well, yeah, I mean, this is an end, right? This is an end to end all ends, you know? I just feel like it feels like everything's been out of your control and all of these endings are going on around you, and you're like, but I thought I was just getting started. But I feel like it's all these false starts, you know what I mean? And I feel like there's been a doomsday clock that's been ticking, and the universe has been saying to you, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. And you've been pushing through, not getting anywhere. And then the clock struck midnight and shit went down. I think it's forcing you to make decisions that are, in the end, like they were decisions that you didn't want to make. They ended up being made for you, and now you are kind of seeing your way through this with a new perspective, because there's this sense of freedom, you know, like you're like, it's done, it's happening, it's ending, but like, shouldn't I be more upset about it? But you're not, because I feel like, you know, that like when you ask, show me the path will be shown. And it will be fulfilling. But that purge is still happening, right? I don't know. Okay, Scorps. Death. Five of Pentacles. The Three of Swords. And the Eight of Pentacles. I can't even remember like what part of the Bible it's in, but I feel like there's a verse in there. I think it's somewhere in the New Testament, but the idea of that, like, you've done well, you know, like you've been faithful through it all. You've been diligent through it all. You've focused through it all. And your chariot has come. To move you in the direction that you are meant to go in. All right. The underworld and the caves. A friend of mine and I went exploring in a cave this past summer, and it's cold and it's dark, you know, and I feel like there's this idea of you've been going down and it's been cold and it's been dark and it's been dirty. But the light, which is funny because I never really noticed that light, but I feel like the light is like, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel, like the light that's guiding you in the direction that you needed to go. And you were in the dark and you were rolling around in some shit you didn't even know what. Just like in the dark, you know, like following the wall, hoping to God you don't get lost until you find the light. I feel like you found the light, and it's taking you in the direction that you need to go. And you learned a lot about yourself along the way. it's been really chaotic, and I think it's been really stressful, and I feel like you have held on as tightly as you can while it breaks away, you know, like that doomsday clock, it turned. You know, and you pushed through. You were like, I'm not going to let go. And the universe is like, you're going to let go. And you're like, I don't want to let go. And it's like, you're letting go. You're letting go. But it's good. All good things. All right, Scorpio, I hope this resonates with y'all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please, please, please give me a like, share, and subscribe if it does. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.